Coach, we'll start chronologically tonight. Your team got off to a really fast start. Why did you feel like they were able to establish such a physical presence early in that game?
I thought our attention to detail on the game plan was outstanding in the first half, particularly on the defensive end. And then offensively, we kind of figured it out a little bit. We were shooting too many threes but without attacking the paint. But I think what really got us going to start was just the defensive execution.
Kaba was a big part of that. He jokingly just told me that maybe this was his flu game because apparently he was not okay last night, but he showed up today. How'd you feel about his performance?
That's great. Great reference by him. He was good, man. 5 big blocks. I thought we did a better job. We worked a lot in the last 2 days of trying to, we knew they were going to switch a lot of stuff, and I thought we did a good job of punishing him. Their smalls when they switched onto him. So he was really steady there. But, honestly, he was great. But shout out to all of our fives. Foos came in, got a lot of work done in a short amount of time. And then, Mihailo came in and gave us a different look to close it out.
To your point, the bench is getting more and more productive. For the second straight game, they outscored your starters. To what do you attribute that to?
Just, honestly, my coaching staff, keeping those guys ready. From Michael Davey to Jordan Brady to John Linehan, all of our GAs keeping those guys ready in terms of workouts and things like that. And just, we have some mature guys on this team, and it's not easy to do it, to sit there and, just wait. But the guys have been able to step up when we needed them, and it's been fun.
You know it better than most, but in high-level basketball, whether it's the NBA or the Big 12, it feels like every team's eventually going to make a run. Kansas State made their run. They cut it to 8. How were you able to slow them down in the middle part of the second half?
I think, the downside of playing a lot of guys is sometimes hard to get a rhythm, So I thought the subbing got a little funky there in the second half. We were searching for the right group. I think that had a lot to do with it. And once we kind of settled in, found the right group, Dallin came in and kind of stabilized us. Putting Mihailo at the 5 helped us play a little bit more off-ball action to negate some of the switching they were doing. So, just trying to find the right combination.
The messages from you in the huddle were consistent all game long, twofold really. One, attack the rim and dominate the paint. How would you grade how those two things went for your team?
We scored 80 and 40 of them were in the paint, and we were 17 of 21 at the rim.
My notes have that as excellent.
That's pretty good. So my analytics guy back there is doing cartwheels because almost 40% of our shots were at the rim, and that was they give up the most rim attempts in the Big 12, and so that was a big, huge point of emphasis coming into the game.
I've had some people close to the BYU bench ask me, hey, sometimes Coach Young will point at a stats guy after a certain big player or something. What's he doing? I said, I'll ask him.
Yeah, so just earmarking some of the possessions to show them on film at halftime. And for me to see at halftime, too, to just kind of crystallize the game plan.
Well, you had plenty of those tonight. Again, your team did so many things efficiently. What do you like best about the overall performance tonight?
I just think the collective, team effort. That's something that's, like you said, it's happened 2 games in a row. But, I think our guys are really believing in each other. Hasn't really been a selfish, guy on the team. Everybody wants to play, obviously. And, like I said, sometimes it's depth is great, but it honestly makes my job a little bit harder because I have to try to push the right buttons. But, kudos to our group for, just staying ready and just wanting to win at the end of the day. And that's obviously what we've been able to do these last couple games.
Richie Saunders with his first career double-double, 14 rebounds. What makes Richie special in a game like tonight?
I think the last offensive rebound he had on the free throw. His will is just uncommon. And that play just, I think, crystallizes everything or encompasses everything that Richie Saunders is about. And, even on a night where, he actually shot it okay from 3. We didn't shoot it great from 3, but we were able to go in there and climb in and get some second chance opportunities, 14 offensive rebounds. He was a big part of that.
I'm going to say a name, and you tell me what you thought about their games, beginning with Dallin Hall.
He was a stud, man, 14 points in the second half. I've been on him a lot all season, but definitely recently about just, you gotta live like a scorer. You gotta attack the rim. You gotta put pressure on the defense, and that's gonna open everything else up for you. And I think he's starting to figure that out. I really love the force that he's been playing with in the last 2 games, and hopefully he can continue to carry that. We're gonna need it.
Next name is Trey Stewart.
Yeah, Trey, man, he's just a tough dude. He's a guy that's extremely confident in what he can do on both ends of the floor. We found some what we feel like is a bit of a recipe with him and Mawut. tag team and certain, high-level offensive players. And then, he's been able to make some timely threes as well. And I thought that offensive rebound, I mean, the kid sits there for 18 minutes in the first half, doesn't play, comes in, gets a massive offensive rebound that we end up scoring off of. So, Trey's about all the right things. I love coaching him. He's a great dude, and he's a big part of, our team spirit.
Okay, last name I'll mention is Mihailo Boskovic.
What he brings to the table is just gives us a different look at the five. It's, a little bit more skill, a little bit more, floor spacing out there. I thought that drive he had late was big. So, he allows us to play, differently, which, whether it's trying to negate pressure, whether it's to negate switching, whatever the case may be, his offensive motor has really given us a lift.
Two quick hitters to close out, and I promised Trevin Nell I would ask this to you, but he was wearing a KYU shirt yesterday. How do you feel about the KYU shirt push?
I mean, the fact that that's even a thing at all is shout out to Devin Booker for making that statement, but I didn't know that. It's hilarious. I appreciate Trev showing a little love.
He might have one for you available at some point in the near future.
That doesn't surprise me. But all jokes aside, I mean, he's been super supportive of me from the time I've gotten this job, and he's a big part of our leadership group. I love Trev.
Okay, and The Rock wants me to ask you, do you believe in free throw defense?
Oh, man, The Rock is – honestly, I literally get chills before the game when I just look up there and see him, and I just think, man, I'm glad I don't have to see that, on the road. But before we get out of here, I just want to shout out the entire show family that was here. And it was cool, to have some of them back in the locker room with us. That's really been heavily on my mind and my heart. We got a couple of family connections with some of his extended family. So, man, he was just coaching a game against my son about 3 weeks ago. So I hope they had a special night. He's a member of our BYU family, and I told the guys after, it was a great win. I'm proud of him, but sometimes it's bigger than basketball, and I was glad that he could get honored tonight.
A great tribute by you. Congratulations on helping them celebrate this night.
Thank you very much.